Okay guys, so what we want to deal with this evening is signals and roundabout rules that people do not teach you. I don't know if you've heard the term staging before. We are going to be talking about staging. The staging is basically at the beginning. It's from the leaderboard after the instruction. Whether you get that instruction through the sat-nav, or whether you get that instruction from the examiner, or whether you get that instruction from your wife, because she also gives instructions when you're driving, or your partner. So that is where the staging starts. It's looking at the leaderboard and knowing what you're dealing with, where you're going in terms of the leaderboard. There you will already get an indication of how to stage. And then looking at the lane and lane markings, either on the ground or sometimes above the highway. You're also being staged when you are driving down the highway towards a roundabout. So that's what it is. And you can see the leaderboard is potential staging you to get into the queue for the ferry. Okay, that's what's happening over here. Okay, so now we have dealt with mini roundabouts, and then that was the first webinar. We went extensively into mini roundabouts. This is in this roundabout series. Now tonight is the third. The second one we dealt with was open roundabouts or unrestricted roundabouts. In other words, there's nothing in the roundabout that prevents you from going around the roundabout. And we've dealt with spiral roundabouts on that as well. And tonight we are going to talk about the bigger roundabouts, the restricted roundabouts. I want to watch a little bit of a video with you guys, and then we'll just go through the thing. So let's do a quick video. Here we are, and we're ready to go. So there we are. We can watch this. Now you might have to turn up your sound a bit.
Closed roundabouts. Now on a closed, what you've always got is you've always got a junction on the closed roundabout, which basically either in the roundabout itself there is a change in priority with the roads coming onto the roundabout, and that can be controlled by traffic signs, traffic signals, or the road lane. This is basically a closed roundabout because there are two things that happen on this closed roundabout. First of all, the traffic can't go around the roundabout unhindered, because in the one case there's a traffic light, these depicting a traffic light with a stop line for the traffic light, which is controlling the traffic coming onto the roundabout. Further around the roundabout, there's a giveaway line to allow the traffic coming onto the roundabout priority. This junction would be a normal junction where the actual roundabout itself has priority over the traffic coming onto the roundabout. So the moment either there's a giveaway line or a stop line or a traffic line in the roundabout, you can't actually physically continue around the roundabout without stopping, then stopping for allowing other traffic to come onto the roundabout for one reason or the other, becomes a closed roundabout. Now, normally these type of roundabouts, the closed roundabouts, tend to be bigger roundabouts with special lane depictions where you would be looking at lanes when you go onto them, and they would be this type of things that you would find at major junctions like on the A1 and the M25 where they come together. They're massive big roundabouts, some of those being about a mile in circumference or more, with a whole lot of traffic lights on them controlling those roundabouts. And in those roundabouts you'd be looking at a lot of, you would be very careful with your lane discipline so that you approach the roundabout into the correct lane when you're going onto the roundabout. The further on this, another thing on this type of roundabout, again, at every one of these entry points where you come onto the roundabout, you would find that you would have the same signage you get on the open roundabout, which is the chevron with the sign pointing you in the direction that you have to go. We are going to be turning left on this roundabout, so we're on the outside lane. We're going to go in with our left signal.
Okay guys, so this roundabout on this leaderboard here has got a first exit. It then has a smaller exit, and sometimes those are exits, sometimes those are just work areas. And then on the right hand, almost at 1 o'clock or just past 12 o'clock, you've got the extension of the A12. So that's basically what the layout on this roundabout is, okay? It's the Gans Hill roundabout. You're looking at the actual Gans Hill roundabout, and this is actually the A127 or the A12 going up towards Chelmsford. So this used to be, originally, this used to just be a plain spiral roundabout, and it, with all its exits, it actually worked quite well. And now they have closed it and made it into a traffic light roundabout.
Hold our left signal, hold in the left-hand lane, and then out on our
So
left.
I think if we go
Check our
through the
mirrors.
roundabout, this was
We don't know if
at
we've
the
got
time.
motorcycles or cyclists on our left.
This was still at the time that this was simple roundabout. No, they had traffic lights. Those are pedestrian crossing traffic lights. Okay, I think that was just a demonstration for a first roundabout. I'm not going to carry on with that. Let's carry on with our presentation. Okay, guys, we are talking about staging. Now, the big thing here is if you don't stage properly, you cannot get the roundabout to work very easily for yourself. And that is really, really important. You need to try to get the roundabout to work. And the way to get your process through the roundabout is to look at the leaderboard, understand which lanes are more likely to be correct for you. And normally most roundabouts have three lanes going onto them. So the first lane on the left-hand side will be for the first exit. The second lane will be for exits beyond the first exit, but not all the way to the right. And the third lane will invariably be for exits towards the right-hand side. And that is really, really useful. That way you can then determine whereabout you're going to go and stage correctly. You must learn to read the leaderboards so that you know where you're going. Look at the road markings. And the useful thing with sat navs nowadays is that they actually help you with your staging as well. Now, what is a restricted roundabout? It's controlled by traffic lights, stop lines, or giveaway lines. We've spoken about that already. They're mostly found on motorway intersections with normal roads or where you have multiple exits. Normally, most of these closed roundabouts and bigger closed roundabouts are often combined with spiral lane markings and can have up to 5 or 6 lanes with slipways. All right. Now, what you've got to remember is you've got to look at the volume of traffic and where you're going, and getting your staging right will help you through the roundabout. Your signaling, you've got to get your signaling correct as well. So first exit is left in, left out, keep in the left lane and hold your left signal. The second exit, 12 o'clock or 12 o'clock-ish, anything up to 12 o'clock or maybe even 1 o'clock is no signal, center lane, go in, and don't get into the outside lane on the roundabout when you're trying to go to a lane beyond the first when you're on a multi-lane roundabout. Otherwise you're going to be in the wrong lane and people are going to be very upset with you because you're trying to go around in the outside lane. Don't do that on a multi-lane roundabout, okay, where you've got 3 lanes or more. Okay, and lane errors, if you haven't staged correctly, lane errors can become difficult to correct when you're on the roundabout. Can really become difficult when you're on the roundabout. They're really difficult to correct. And then the examiners are looking for you to stage correctly. If you haven't looked at the leaderboard, you're not taking in how many incoming lanes are going into the roundabout, and you're not positioning correctly in terms of the rules that govern roundabouts, you're going to have a problem staging correctly. That's the way it works. Okay, all right. Okay, so the image I've got up here, this is a Google Map image. I like to steal their stuff sometimes. It's really useful. Okay, so what I want to do is just show you guys some things here on this. I'm going to draw on this and show you some things. Now look here, this is what I was talking about. There are 3 lanes going into the roundabout here. There are 1, 2, 3 lanes. If you end up in this lane, I just want to track you here. Now let's say you want to go to the exit on the right hand side of the roundabout and you are in that lane and not in this lane. And this actually happened to a student of mine the other day. You're supposed to be in the right hand lane because they were going around the roundabout onto the on-ramp going onto the A406. They ended up in this middle lane. Now if you follow the middle lane around, it takes you into this lane here, right? And look at this lane. This lane then spirals outwards. There's a spiral here. Look at that. That's a promulgation of a lane. So it's going to kick you out onto that lane. And you're actually you'll end up in the outside lane, and that's not where you want to be, because you don't want to be going out at this exit over here, because that's what's going to happen to you, because you started in the wrong lane. So you need to then, if you come in here, you have to move into that inside lane. So why not just start on the very inside lane, that gives you that inside lane. The spiral as you go around here, at this point back here, will start to kick you out because there's a spiral. There's the spirals developing, and you'll be able to go out on that lane. And it's all about, it's a simple staging. There's a leaderboard back here which tells you everything. If you pick up that leaderboard, there's 3 lanes going in and you want to go to the right hand lane, you should be in that right hand lane approaching the roundabout so that you can stage correctly to get out of the roundabout. Now that is a very real thing that happens to people if you stage incorrectly. It happens. The thing is, the moment you are staged incorrectly, it becomes an issue you have to deal with in the roundabout.